Alright guys, go ahead. Alright. How many times did we hear in mass media that we experienced the most severe financial crisis since Great Depression? How many economists compare Great Depression and financial crisis today? It's been said that history doesn't repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. So today we're going to talk about similarities between Great Depression and financial crisis today. How do they relate to each other? First of all, I want to point out four main similarities. Is the high rate of speculation, failure of banks, high unemployment rate, and government intervention. So let's start with the first one, high rate of speculation. Right before Great Depression, there was a time of high speculation on the stock market. People were buying stocks on margin, which with the only rule that you had to put 10% down. Well, simply if you want to invest in $100 worth of stock, you only had to put $10 down. Similarly, we experience something, the same thing today. When people invested in the houses and in the houses they couldn't afford. So, which brings us to the next step, the failure of banks. Great Depression and financial crisis today were accompanied by the massive amount of bank failures. Why did the banks fail? Well, first of all, because they were out of money. Imagine that during Great Depression, people were scared and they withdrew all of their money from the accounts. So similarly, during this financial downturn, people failed to pay for their houses and they had to return them back. And they took loans, again, they took loans they couldn't afford, and the banks failed. So the next step is the high unemployment rate. Another thing about Great Depression and financial crisis is that in common that they have a high unemployment rate. Why? First of all, because First of all, because people were out of jobs and people lost all of their money. And Professor Ray, from Harvard University, explains that when Americans were lost jobs, they were scared. And he says, Americans who are worried about their jobs and who are also trying to get out from under a pile of debt aren't going to do a lot of shopping. And businesses that don't have customers aren't going to do a lot of investing. And foreign nations, also suffering high unemployment, are going to buy a lot of our goods and services. And without customers, companies won't hire. They will cut payrolls instead. Which brings us to the obvious question, who is going to buy our goods and services? There's only one buyer left, the government. So let's go over the main points of similarities between Great Depression and financial crisis today. First of all, is high rate of speculation, failure of banks, high unemployment rate, and government intervention. Okay, now let's take a look at the differences between Great Depression and financial crisis today. There are the two main differences I would like to point out. First of all, new laws and regulations and ability to respond quickly. The second thing is the different America we have today. So let's start with the first point, new laws and regulation. Before Great Depression and during Great Depression, new laws and regulations were created to reduce crises in the future. Today we know that government has to interfere swiftly and boldly to prevent the economy from crashing and to reduce panic. Money has been spent to reduce unemployment, to create jobs, to support small businesses, and to ensure people can obtain credit. Second difference is that America is different today. Before Great Depression, American economy was based on manufacturing and agriculture. Today, American economy is mostly customer-oriented. Moreover, America is the biggest consumer in the world. Today, America imports much more than it exports. And the American debt is much more than during the Great Depression, which is over $11 trillion by now. So let's go over the differences between Great Depression today again. It's the new laws and regulations and ability to respond quickly, and the different American economy today. So I guess what I was trying to deliver today, that Great Depression proves that in order to predict future, we have to know the past and the history and learn from it. This recession, the recession we're facing today is somewhat close to what was happening during 1920s and 30s. We know right now if we don't act swiftly and boldly, and if America doesn't unite, and if the whole world doesn't fight this problem today, tomorrow we're going to have another Great Depression, which could be much worse than 70 years ago. Yay! You have to show the public now.
You have to show.
Thank you. Thank you.